So if tomorrow society comes together and we say, hey, trans folks don't deserve rights, you would be okay with that?
No, I would be against.
That's a fair thing to say because Sam Sater, you did just say.
What about pedophiles? Are they born that way?
They may be, yeah.
Okay, so should we let a pedophile off the hook since they were born that way?
No, I think we as a society
should implement duties to prevent them from acting on that innate urge, correct?
He's making logical sense here.
And privatizing their profits. So it may be cheaper for a company to dump their chemicals into a river than it is for them to dispose of it in a safe way. And so they get the profits from that, but the costs are borne by society. They're borne by society in the form of like people get cancer. They're borne by society in terms of like we've got to do the cleanup. That's what agencies do.
Pause. You've been voted out.
So if you guys don't know what's going on, this is basically Jubilee doing 20 Trump supporters or 20 people who support Trump versus one progressive. And the topic that they're going to talk about now is, unless you're a billionaire religious fundamentalist or xenophobic nationalist, voting for Trump was a mistake. This is a trending viral video. Hopefully I can be able to post this clip, but if not, just doing the reaction for fun. But let's continue.
By the majority, please return to your seat.
That's good. Hey. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so I would like to touch on the religious fundamentalist aspect.
Yeah.
Are you an atheist?
I'm a Reformed Jew. I don't have a strong belief in the existence of God, but I don't think that religion in and of itself is bad.
So if you guys don't know me, I am a Christian. Sam Sater, I don't know who this is. I don't know who any of these people are, so forgive me if I don't, but he is more progressive and he does not, like he said, believe in God. But what they're about to debate now is the concept of morality and how that, I'm assuming, ties to political votes in some way, shape, or fashion.
Okay, so what's wrong with religious fundamentalists? So like when you said trans rights and women's rights or something like that?
Well, the problem I have with religious fundamentalists, and really more, I guess it's really theocrats, is that they want to impose their morality that comes from their religion on the rest of us, and I don't.
But morality, from your view, is going to be a preference, right? It's not morality; it's a preference. So morality without a foundation is going to reduce you to a preference.
Well, I have a foundation for my morality.
Which is what?
It's a humanist vision of what basically creates as little suffering as possible for as many people.
Okay, so you're like a consequentialist? Utilitarian?
What he's doing now is basically highlighting, it's like the fundamental problem, I guess, that he sees with people not having a foundational level of, what's the right word to say this? Foundational level of agreement within their morality. Basically not having integrity in their morality. If you look at the definition of integrity, integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, and meaning that you're extremely consistent in all of your moral principles. And he's basically saying, if you don't have something that makes you consistent, such as, in this instance, a Christian Bible, then how could you be moral all the time? Meaning that, what is your morality? Is there a rule set for your morality? That's kind of what I'm getting from him right now. And I would say this. He's posing a very interesting question because his instance of morality is the Bible. If you don't believe in the Bible, I'm not trying to force anyone to believe in the Bible or a religion at that point of view. Do you have like a level of what you consider moral anymore? Is it the laws of society? Is it just your instincts? I really want to know. And this is for someone who isn't a Christian or who isn't following religion. I want to know like how you determine it, or maybe you don't think about it. I don't know. But anyways, let's continue.
I don't really bother myself with being a consequentialist or a utilitarian.
It's always going to reduce you to a preference. So if you say that killing is wrong and I say it's right, you would really have no contention with that.
Well, no, I don't base my understanding of civil society on religion. And so we have a civil society. Okay. We have laws that we have decided as a society in a democratic way. And for some people, it's okay for it to be informed by their religion. That's okay.
Okay, perfect. So if tomorrow society comes together and we say, hey, trans folks don't deserve rights, you would be okay with that?
No, I would be against.
That's a fair thing to say, because Sam Seder, you did just say we have a civil society, and you kind of implied that's how you got your morality. You didn't say that necessarily or directly, but you kind of implied that's how you got your morality. And that's why I brought it up, because I'm not trying to force anyone to be Christian or be religious, but it does kind of, in this instance, make sense to have a foundational level of what you deem moral and immoral. Even in the Holy Bible, I'm going to talk about me, for instance, there are things in the Bible that from an instinctual level, it's like, I don't want to follow this. I don't want to do this. But if it says it, I understand. The same way, if you have a father in your household or parents in your household, when you were a kid, they may have told you things that you didn't want to do, you didn't feel like doing, but you're like, you know what? I trust them. I'm going to do it. And that's kind of where I'm getting at. So this is a really good debate. I really like where they're going with this. Let's continue.
But I mean, it would be
morally right under your
not
view.
morally right. No. I'm not talking about morals.
Okay,
here.
so here's where I'm getting to, right? Religious foundations provide an ethical framework for one to live their life off.
I
of.
believe you can have an ethical framework without religion.
And if we take the leftist view to its logical tail end, to its extreme view, you have low reproductive birth rates. You have a reproductive dead end, so two men together can't reproduce unless they have to take from a healthy straight couple. Religion provides this foundation where you do prioritize the nuclear family.
So do you have a problem with gay people being married?
It's not that I have a problem. I just don't see a justification for why they ought to be gay outside of it just feels good. Can you give me another justification for it?
Well, I think maybe that's the way they were born.
Okay, what about pedophiles? Are they born that way?
They may be, yeah.
Okay, so should we let a pedophile off the hook since they were born that way?
No, I think we as a society
should implement duties to prevent them from acting on that innate urge, correct?
He's making logical sense here. He's making logical sense. And the reason he's making so much sense in this specific discussion is because Sam Seder kind of based his morality on the civil duties and my apologies. The civil duty and the responsibility that society has implemented thus far in thousands and hundreds of years of domestication of us, or in thousands and hundreds of years of building up our civilization to the point it is today. He said, okay, if you're basing your morality on that, then you will also be okay if society just decided to change into something else. But you're obviously not okay with that, because you're over here saying that you won't be okay if for instance, pedophilia became the new norm. I'm not trying to attack Sam Seder or anything or be on his side. I'm just saying that the logical argument makes a lot of sense here. I will say I do understand where Sam is coming from. He's probably trying to imply that something like that will never happen, but you never know.
Well, I think between consenting adults, it's a different thing than.
Okay, so you're okay with a 45-year-old dad with a 19-year-old daughter as well? Incest.
No.
If they consent, you're okay with that?
No, I think society has also determined that it's not beneficial.
Right, there's duties and obligations that we have, so religion provides those duties. Life isn't about freedom and exercising what you want.
I mean, well, you want to impose your religious doctrine on me, and I don't want that.
You just admitted we need duties. We have responsibility as a society to keep us functioning, to keep us thriving. Your leftist view, the liberal view, doesn't provide anything besides it just makes me feel good. Religion does. So what's your argument?
What's my argument as to why I don't want
you have no
your
contention.
religion to? Well, because first of all, I don't think that you have the right to corner what God is telling us is right or wrong. And there are differences between religions. And so my argument is, you're not going to keep halal or kosher, right? I mean, I don't believe that someone has a corner on religious truth. And the reason why we have a democracy is because we didn't want a king. And the kings came from the idea that their God said that they're the ones who's supposed to be king. And so we can disagree on this. I don't want to live in a country that is ruled by religious fundamentalism.
And if I do, you have no issue with that.
And no. And this is why I say, under Trump, yes, you have won.
Yes.
You have a
Only
bunch
male
of Christian.
and female. You're right.
You have a Christian nationalist,
yes, which is necessary.
And so
I'm assuming Sam Seder is saying that, Well, this whole thing started with morality, but now he's saying, now they're kind of transitioning the conversation from morality and more so to, I guess, civic duty and what's responsible and irresponsible of a society to do. And what the young man, who in this instance is described as a Christian nationalist, is saying is that he has very strong core Christian beliefs and that he is happy under Donald Trump. And what Sam Sater is saying is that he doesn't believe in those beliefs. He doesn't want a monolithic national religion, and he believes that that's not in the best interest of the United States. However, he also admitted that they don't have to agree on it, which is interesting to me because I haven't heard him say that thus far in the video. Maybe he's just saying, okay, whatever, you're going to win under Trump, and this is not a conversation worth having. This is more of a religious and spiritual conversation, not necessarily a facts and logic-based conversation. I don't know, but let me know what you all think about this in the comments below.
I concede the point that under Trump, your Christian nationalism has gained an advantage under this.
Sorry, we're going to have more kids. We're going to have less abortions. We're going to have more family. We're going to have stable family households. Sorry about better education.
People, gay people should be outlawed.
They should be straight. They should be straight.
Women should be secondary to their husbands.
Women should submit to the husbands. That doesn't mean they are slaves. It doesn't mean they are slaves. It means they are protected. Okay, let me ask you then. Let me ask you.
No.
Should women be drafted? Should women be drafted?
Listen, I think
if they're equal, should they be drafted?
I think this is the vision that you have, and I think Trump supports it. Yes. I think the Christian nationalists he has throughout his government are all going to work towards your vision.
Yes.
And my hope is that when people look at this, they say, hey, wait a second. I don't want my life to be dictated by the notion of a Christian nationalist prescription. Now, you may win out. I mean, certainly, like if you look at a country like Iran, they have a theocracy there, and apparently that's good for them if they want it.
My final point is whenever
I don't want to live in a theocracy.
My final point is whenever we see people live out Christian values to its full extent, we see a great society. When we see people deviate from that, that's where all the problems arise.
All right,
I think you are at home in the Trump.
Okay, so he basically said, well, he definitely said, Christian nationalism is the best for the country, and that was a pretty good debate. I liked it. Let me know who you all think won. I'm not going to cover the entire video. Hopefully I can just get this clip up. But my name is LFR JoJo, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.